been personally challenged to go live and share with you all why I do what I do. It's been a minute since I've shared it, or I share it in bits and pieces in my other lives that I do. And so I said, let me come on here and share, because I have a bunch of new followers and connections on this app. And I'm like, what a perfect time to share. And so if you're new here, go ahead, and you're watching this live, go ahead and drop a wave so that I know that you're here, okay? And if you're catching the replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay, because the conversation continues even after this live ends. But the people that have been rocking with me for some time, they already know that, okay? They already know that. And so why do I do what I do, y'all? This week has been a week. I have been so busy. I have been talking nonstop with individuals, talking about purpose, business, money, talking about all things. And this week has just been a reminder really about why I do the work that I do, because no matter who I spoke to, it all really centered around the same thing, which is why I'm like, okay, God, like I'm literally doing what it is that you have for me to do. Hey, if you're joining, let me know, send me a wave so that I know that you're here. And I'm like, okay, God, I know why you have me doing what I'm doing, because the conversations this week have just been like, that's it. And so why do I do what I do? If you don't know anything about me, my corporate background is HR. And I tell people all the time, working in HR, I was exposed to so many different things. Like as I worked my way up into senior management, I would be in conference rooms with the executive directors, leadership team. I would be in conversations with individuals with the leadership team and be talking about, for lack of better words right now, talking about who to hire, talking about who gets promoted, talking about who should get a pay increase or a merit increase. And the thing that always gave me inner conflict and turmoil in the HR space is that it wasn't as equitable as I hoped it would be. Because, I just would see all the time, whoever would get hired wasn't always the best fit. But if they know somebody, they were in there. Or who gets promoted, it wasn't always the best performer. It wasn't always the hardest performer. And so just seeing certain things and seeing how decisions were made, and not to say that happens all the time, because sometimes people get promoted that absolutely deserve it. But I also know the other side where it's like, no. And so being in those types of conversations and just knowing that these jobs literally hold our livelihoods in their hands, it was where I started to have that inner conflict. And I would always tell my job, at the end of the day, I want to do the right thing, right? My dad raised my brothers and I. Hey, y'all. My dad raised my brothers and I to operate in excellence and integrity. And so I would always tell my employers, listen, no matter what we're doing, just know that I am never going to compromise my integrity for this job. Okay. When it comes down to it, I'm going to do the right thing every single time. But at the end of the day, it's always the needs of the business. And sometimes that unfortunately means that individuals have to get let go. There's layoffs, there's restructures. It happens. My position was eliminated in a restructure. And so, Microsoft just announced that they were eliminating 6,000 positions. But it's easy to read that headline as 6,000 positions. And I'm like, that's 6,000 people. 6,000 people that are displaced. 6,000 people that could have been making six figures and high six figures, right? That have that paycheck coming out of their house where they're no longer going to make that. And so that is why I would always tell people, even when I would do separations, I'm like, look, I hope you are not relying on this one stream of income. Please, I hope you're doing something else outside of this job, because that job can be taken away at any point in time. And so that's what really pivoted me into coaching, because I'm like, people are literally sitting on gold mines. People are literally sitting on talents, skills, abilities that people oftentimes minimize and overlook, or they just really have no idea. They don't have the clarity. And so that's really what pivoted me into coaching, in addition to knowing that, I would do surveys, the surveys that y'all hate doing because you're scared who's going to read it. Are we going to know that it's you? It's anonymous. And so it's but I would read the surveys, I would read the feedback. When I would do exit interviews, I'm talking to the employees to figure out, why did they choose to leave? Because it's how can we continue improving? And so just going through those conversations, coaching conversations with the employees. And I'm like, people are really working jobs just to pay bills, but they're not fulfilled. They don't enjoy the work that they do. They're just working for a check. And it's like, that's no way to live. And so that's the other reason that really pivoted me into coaching, is because my goal is to help individuals monetize their skills and expertise and create purpose-aligned income. Because once you create that income that it's bigger than you, you'll understand that you can't afford to quit, because people are literally waiting on you. And so that's what shifted me. You know, even though it was involuntarily, I knew the shift out of the 9-to-5 sector was going to happen. I just thought it was going to happen at a different time. But the people that know that life and God have different timelines, okay? And all we have a responsibility to do is be obedient and walk that thing out in faith and trust. And so that is why I'm excited about the opportunity to help serve other individuals and help them go through their journeys. And say, because guess what? We don't have time to waste time. So what are we doing with the time that we have? And I'm like, I want individuals to experience fulfillment, joy, impact. And not only that, but increase your wealth, increase your income. I'm in conversations I literally have had 15 conversations this week so far, and I still have some more conversations with people. And the same thing is the reason why I'm having conversations with these individuals is because they're all like, Lanisha, I need to make more money. And while the majority of people like don't actually like offer that information up, you know, everybody on social media want to act like they rich. You're not, okay? But you can if you start taking new action, if you start doing new things, because of course we all know that. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. But a lot of individuals are stuck in fear, doubt. They lack the trust, the belief, or even are dealing through and having to go through those mindset barriers and blocks to actually say, guess what? More is available. More is available. And so that's why I do the work that I do, because I'm like, guess what? And I literally posted it today. Hey, I said, abundance is already available. It's just your mindset that sets your limit. And why? And I'm going to close out because I already been on here for too long. But the reason why I say that is because, so in this 5-day challenge, I'm on day 4, like I said, we were writing like, what is our money goals? Cause you got to write the vision and make it plain. Okay. It says it straight up in the Bible, write the vision and make it plain. And I'm like, okay, my initial income goal is $10,000 a month. My next income goal is $100,000 a month, right? That's all I said. That was my big goal. And then it's like, but in actuality, I know people that really make like $500,000 a month and $1 million a month. Like, more is available, but it's where does your mindset limit you? Because I could have absolutely said a higher number, but I didn't. And so it's like, but why? Why didn't I think bigger, right? But at the end of the day, so this conversation is hard for a lot of individuals because, number one, they may not even think that it's a possibility. And for the people that think that, it's not. Because whatever you think is what you speak, and what you speak is what you become. And so if you don't think that it can happen, it won't, because you're not going to take the necessary steps and actions to actually make it happen. And so, but for the people that do, I'm like, okay, no, my mind was just expanded some more, because I don't want to have a cap. Okay. The theme for this year is literally without limits, So from now on, I'm just going to write plus, whatever God wants to do, because at the end of the day, I know that God is going to use me to be a blessing and use me to be a vessel to help other individuals, in the things that I have on my heart to do. And it takes resources. And so I'm just excited. And so I said, let me come on here and share. This is why I do what I do. And if anything resonated with you, let's talk about it some more. Let's talk about it offline. But yeah, drop a comment if anything stood out. If you know that there's a mindset, the devil is busy. Okay, my phone is about to die because I've been talking all day to people. But I've been talking to people literally all day about people that want to change their lives and do bigger and better things than what they're doing because they're done playing small. And so I say this, don't rely on one stream of income. Make sure you have additional income streams. And if you need help, if you need to get some clarity, let me know. If you already know what it is, but you're just not moving forward, you're not taking the steps that you need to do in order to accomplish the thing that you say you want to do, make sure you message me. Or if anything just stood out, let's talk about it. This is what I love to do. I love having these conversations. And so that's a little bit about me.